Hello,
Hello, what's your name?
my name's Danny. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I just got here.
Very nice. Are you enjoying your stay?
So far,
Welcome to New Orleans, home of the French Quarter. There are many sights to see, and history can be found around every corner.
Aunt Sally's original Creole praline shop opened in the early 1930s, and their first shop was in the French Quarter.
Guess what? You had to be Catholic to live here. So I don't know if it's, we'll check and see if it's open. It's really the oldest working cathedral in the U.S.
I actually did my student teaching here. You set me up here, 4 years ago? And so I worked in a first-grade classroom there, 40 hours for the semester. Kind of just fell in love with the school, so I decided to ask for a job when I graduated, and they gave me one. First year I taught, I was an assistant in a pre-K classroom. Last year I did first grade intervention, which is sort of a reading specialist position. And this year I'm actually the special ed coordinator and case manager for pre-K first grade. So any kid that has an IEP, which is an individualized education program, I'm in charge of, which is a lot of advice.
And this patio, and it's just one of the most gorgeous ones in the French Quarter,
I like this when I bought it, I just keep it up, that's about all I can say.
and owned by two 19th century dandies.
It was built, it survived
Beautiful.
the fires. It was built around.
The Gumbo Shop is located in the French Quarter. Open since the 1920s as a restaurant, this Louisiana colonial townhouse is one of a handful of 18th century buildings left in the quarter. Some famous menu items include their gumbo, jambalaya, and red beans and rice.
And that concludes our tour of the French Quarter. And now, tune in for a little about Lusher School with Lindsay and Susie.
Lusher Charter School is located in uptown New Orleans and is a kindergarten through 12th grade school. Lusher is run by the nonprofit Advocates for Arts-Based Education Corporation, and this influence is seen throughout the school. Along with academic excellence, Lusher focuses on the creative and artistic side of their students by incorporating the arts into their set of courses. Lusher is said to have an award-winning performing arts program in creative writing, dance, drama, music, and visual arts. When walking the halls of Lusher, we saw many art projects on display on the walls and in glass cases that were placed throughout the school. Also on the walls and in the classrooms are inspirational phrases aimed to motivate the students and teachers. Some examples of the sayings are ones such as Project Pride, be kind, respect people and property, be responsible, do your best work, which we saw in numerous classrooms. Although they focus a lot of their attention on the artistic side of their students, Lusher also offers many other extracurricular activities, including athletics.
Lusher's academic program is also very strong, and they offer college credit classes, AP courses, and honors classes. By the time the students of Lusher leave, they are well prepared for college. While at Lusher, we listened to some of the teachers talk about their experiences. We listened to Peter Winstrop, Jerome White, Madeline Brown, and Jim Whalen. None of the teachers went through a traditional teaching certification program. Instead, they all majored in a specific field of study and then realized they wanted to pursue teaching and became certified. Peter Winstrop is working through a certification program while teaching. Each of the teachers shared their own view on teaching and talked about their styles of teaching. Their passion and commitment showed through, and this is an attitude that seems to be shared by most teachers at Lusher. This trip was very insightful and informative, and we enjoyed seeing what a charter school is like.
Dr. Charles Richard Drew Elementary School. We visited Dr. Charles Richard Drew Elementary School located in the 9th Ward. It provides education for children from pre-K to 8th grade. It is located right across the street from Ben Franklin High School, which is planned to be shut down in the near future. In 2007, there were about 552 students, along with 27 teachers, making the student-to-teacher ratio 20.4. 98% of the students were of the African American race. Immediately as you walked in the door, there were metal detectors, causing you to ponder about the way of life present in several of the students. It seems to be a very personal school that gets to know their students well. We found individual students' birthdays posted on a bulletin board in the hallway. They seemed to be treated as an individual and not as a mere number. We toured the hallways until we were led up to Mr. Ben LeGrand's classroom. Ben LeGrand is a third-grade teacher. He explained to us how several students still had problems and fears related to storm incidents like minor rain floods. He told us stories of how many survived Hurricane Katrina by living inside the school. He said there was a lot of damage. Those living inside the school even busted out pipes to get water or just to take a shower. Mr. LeGrand seemed to be a very genuine person and truly cared about how his students turned out. His purpose was to make them not only better students, but better people in society as a whole. His room is decorated with several different things. It creates a comfortable environment suitable for learning. Many quotes are also painted on the wall to give inspiration. New technology like the smartboard in Elmo is often used to make the learning environment more interesting. I feel as though Mr. LeGrand's students have the best opportunity possible. Our trip to Drew Elementary provided many of us with great insight as to how a great classroom should be run and the attitude that an inspiring teacher should possess.
The Ninth Ward. What is referred to today as the Lower Ninth Ward was so named after the Industrial Canal, which was dredged in the 1920s, cutting through the Ninth Ward. The modern-day Lower Ninth Ward is distinguished in many parts, not least the fact that more residents own their homes here than in any part of the city. The population is predominantly African American, and their homes are built on land that was, in the colonial Louisiana of the 19th century, plantation land. The Lower Ninth Ward also includes Jackson Barracks, first built in 1834, and currently being rebuilt after Katrina to once again serve as headquarters for the Louisiana National Guard. The force of the water resulting from multiple levee breaks due to Hurricane Katrina did far more than flood thousands of homes. Levee breaches created floodwaters that tore houses off their foundations, threw houses on top of cars, erased blocks upon blocks, and left the entire community homeless. The Lower Ninth Ward is no stranger to hardship or to hurricanes. Its people survived Hurricane Betsy in 1965. In New Orleans, the Lower Ninth Ward was one of the most impacted neighborhoods. Make It Right has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Lower Ninth Ward stakeholders coalition to work toward building sustainable and affordable homes for pre-Katrina residents seeking to return to the neighborhood. And other organizations work together to improve the Ninth Ward, such as Holy Cross Neighborhood Association, New Life Intracoastal Community Development, which is a nonprofit organization for affordable housing. All Congregations Together is a congregation-based community organization instilling faith. The Lower Ninth Ward Center for Sustainable Engagement and Development, which encourages and sustains population. The Lower Ninth Ward Homeowners Association. The Lower Ninth Ward Neighborhood Empowerment Network Association, NENA. The Lower Ninth Ward Health Clinic. The Lower Ninth Ward Neighborhood Council, and Common Grounds Mission, which improves short-term relief.
The Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde by Junot Díaz was an inspirational novel. Oscar was afraid of the Fuku curse throughout the entirety of his life. As a teen, he was harassed over his weight. Even his family said he would never get laid, which was very important to his Dominican family. He wrote much fantasy and used science fiction as a way to escape to an alternate world. When he went to college, he roomed with Junior, his sister Lola's ex. He tried to help Oscar with his confidence, but when he failed, Junior gave him the name of Oscar Wilde. When Oscar graduated, he went back to his hometown to teach at his high school, still being ridiculed. He finally found Yvonne, a middle-aged, semi-retired prostitute, with whom he fell in love. Although they had a close relationship, she had another man in her life. He ended up giving up his virginity and life for Yvonne. The Fuku curse seemed even more real at the end.
Junot Díaz is a professor at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology.